eventually, the next episode is shooting the chemicals in the street. And eventually, it's going to be questioned what those averaging. Eventually, is what I thought. But never that I ever expected it to be right now so soon. And a white woman in that. And I don't mean harm. I'm not dead I'm just so shocked that they did that to a white woman.
Oh, me, oh, me, oh, me, oh, my. Me, oh, me, oh, me, oh, my. Y'all, there's too much stuff going on. Too much stuff going on. So much stuff going on. And top it off, I can't find my program glasses. Got to use my everyday ones. Make sure as you all are coming in, you all are hitting that like button, because there's too much stuff going on in the world. Who would have thought today would be the day? Who would have thought? I had a whole nother show planned, but we definitely are going to talk about what's going on in Minnesota. Oh, thank you, Lawrence. Happy New Year to you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Happy New Year to you. We're going to talk about, these are my everyday glasses. These are not my program glasses, and I don't know what I did with those. But y'all, we're going to talk about what's going on today because it's a lot. Let me get this music off because so good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review celebrity legal news, pop culture chats, and all kinds of stuff over here. If you are interested in my movie and television reviews, make sure you all follow me on my second channel, which is PETV_reacts. I started that channel. It is live and online right now. I've got a couple of reviews scheduled to go up. I don't know what I'm going to review coming up. I know that there's a couple of things coming up. I was waiting for P-Valley, but P-Valley is taking your sweet time, and I may just have to give up on it. But again, if you are interested in those movie and television reviews, please hit my second channel, PETV_reacts. And while you all are here, please make sure you hit that like button, and please make sure you subscribe. Y'all, I'm still going to do the show, but I think I want to start off with this unsettling news and then get into the other stuff that I was going to do. So have y'all been keeping up with what's going on today? Have you all been keeping up with what's going on today, child? Apparently in Minnesota, a woman was pruned from the timeline. Now, it's all these different stories. There is a video going around on X. If y'all want to go see that video and come to your conclusions, you need to do that. That's fine. I'm not even here to argue any of that. What it is for me, and again, I'm talking from Pam Entertainment TV. Y'all, it's really getting serious. This left versus right, left versus right versus left, and the clashing of these ideologies, baby, we have seen today, and you know it's serious when they start pruning white women from the timeline. And I mean that with all sincerity and all heart. Because there has always been a time in history where white women were above reproach, regardless of what their views were. But honey, you know it's serious when they start pruning white women from the timeline. I'm sorry. It is what it is. You know it's serious when they start pruning white women from the timeline. Now, if you're not familiar, apparently ICE came on the scene of a street in Minnesota, And they were, you know, because there's always these watchers, these people that are watching for ICE. And apparently, I don't know if she was a watcher for ICE. I'm really not sure about all of that. All I know is they had pulled up on the street, and then she was in her car. She was turning to move. There was an ICE agent in front of her. There was an ICE agent on the side of her. They told her not to drive off. She drove off. Headshot. You better walk around like Daft Punk, is what exactly happened. I do want to be able to. Oh gosh, they have the aftermath of all of this, because there was a press conference. So we're gonna hear from let me see how long that press conference was. 33 seconds. Just pieces of it. There were doctors on the scene from when I saw, and they would not let the doctor go and check to see if this woman was okay. So you know it's something serious. Whew. Where did I have that press conference? Oh, okay. I'm sorry, y'all. See, my vanity is coming into play. Hold on. One thing I've noticed about TikTok, some of the things that you save, they seem to not want to save it again, because I can see all the foolishness I've saved, but the seriousness that I have and favorited, it's not showing up, which is sad. Hold on, I saw it on NBC News. Y'all, they took it down. I guess I got to find it on Twitter. All right. I found it. So let me share my screen real quick. A mess. This is a mess. This is a mess. So let's go ahead and listen to what he has to say.
That is bullshit. This was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying.
All right, let's go.
They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bullshit. This was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying, getting killed. To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite. People are being hurt. Families are being ripped apart. Long-term Minneapolis residents that have contributed so greatly to our city, to our culture, to our economy are being terrorized, and now somebody is dead. That's on you. And it's also on you to leave. They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense.
All right, so let me get down to what Christy Noem said in regards to this. Well, let's go here and look. Here's what the president 47 has said about this. I'm going to share this tab instead. He says, I have viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer, who seems to have shot her in self-defense. Based on the attached clip, it's hard to believe he is alive, but is now recovering in the hospital. The situation is being studied in its entirety, but the reason these incidents are happening is because the radical left is threatening, assaulting, and targeting our law enforcement officer and ICE agents on a daily basis. They are just trying to do the job of making America safe. We need to stand by and protect our law enforcement officers from this radical left movement of violence and hate. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let me move this. Let me stop sharing real quickly because I forget I get to scrolling and we start seeing things we don't need to see. All right, let's see what she has to say. Miss Christy Noems, I think that's how you say her name. So they must going to ask her a question and she's going to answer it. Let me get
People need to stop using their vehicles as weapons. This domestic act of terrorism to use your vehicle to try to kill law enforcement officers is going to stop. And I'm asking the Department of Justice to prosecute it as domestic terrorism because it's clear that it's being coordinated. People are being trained and told how to use their vehicles to impede law enforcement operations and then to run over anybody who gets in their way while they go out there and try to disrupt peace and public safety. And Americans deserve better.
Baby. Oh, I apologize. I get to scrolling and forget that you all are watching, especially stuff and I definitely don't want you to see on my channel. This is the woman that they said was pruned from the timeline. This is the lady that was pruned from the timeline. Now, like I said, if you want to watch the goriness, you could go over to X. X seems to be at the heart of all of that. But this is the woman. You could go back and look at the video for yourself and make the conclusions that you need to make for yourself. We are just going to move on. I wanted to do that. Didn't mean to start the show with all of that gloom and doom, but it came up on my thing and I just wanted to just kind of mention it for a little bit. And let me get back to my regularly scheduled show. So let's talk about some of the messy stuff that's been going on Black TikTok. So let me just set it up real quick. So apparently, if you're not Jamal Bryant, who is the pastor of New Birth, I think it's New Birth Missionary Baptist Church. I think that's what it is. New Birth over in Atlanta. The former pastor that passed away, he had a lot of allegations against him. I can't remember what his name. I could just remember what he looked like. I can't remember what his name. But anyway, Jamal Bryant took over that church. They installed him as the pastor of that church. If you're not familiar or don't know who he is the ex-husband of Giselle Bryant, who is on Real Housewives of Potomac. Her and him are divorced, and he has since remarried, and he is remarried to another woman. Apparently, they were at a United Negro College Fund event, United Negro Education College Fund, United Negro College Fund event, and she wore a particular dress. And this particular dress that she wore was like an illusion dress. And what it was like a see-through dress. It gave the illusion that it was a see-through dress. So let's get the images up so that you can see what I'm looking at. Oh, I just want a picture. All right, let me share this tab. All right, so here's Pastor Jamal Bryant, and this is his wife. This is the illusion dress that she wore. Pretty dress, but there was a lot of chitter chatter in regards to this dress, mainly coming from the church, simply because she is a pastor's wife, and the dress is not in modesty. So we see the dress, and you see it's an illusion dress. It gives you the appearance of she is flesh, like she has skin. They say in the back it looks a little bit more risque, but again, baby, throughout all of TikTok here, Black TikTok, they were been talking about reviewing this dress, talking about levels of modesty. Is the church too worldly? All of these different things. That's what they're going on, and they were talking about, and this is what they were focused on. Modesty and how she could dress. However you fall on that line, I don't care. I truly don't care. But what's interesting, let me go back because I saw him. So then what's interesting, you have this bishop right here, Bishop Patrick Wooden. Now let me, before I talk about him, no, I have to talk about him first, then I talk about pastor. So we have this pastor here. He gets up in the pulpit and then he says, he calls Pastor Brian's wife. He says she looked like a $2 hoe. Not $1, not $1.50, but $2. And he then pans over to his wife to talk about, I guess, as a representation of what a woman of God should look like. And so we have that. Now, what Pastor Wooden said, Pastor Bryant responds. I guess he's sticking up for his wife. He says, I got the dress for her. I like the dress. I was okay with the dress. We're fine. Boom. I thought that was going to be the end of it. No. People have been having think pieces. People have been going through back and forth about this dress, all of these little different things. And I will add too, I found out today that she herself has a doctorate in divinity. So she's had a ministry. I don't think that she's had a church, but she's had a ministry. So she's very, very well versed in Christianity. I'm going to say it like that. She's educated in Christianity. So we go back and forth. You have all this back and forth talk between them. And as I'm sitting here listening to, and mostly I will tell you, women, mostly women, back and forth, 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 quoting scriptures, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Some folks, and I mean, for some people, it was a screaming match. For others, it wasn't. Not only was it women, I was also paying attention to the fact that it was the women that were my age that were real disgusting. Talking about this woman, who she is, who she was dating, all of these little different things. And it was the younger women that were like, hey, if it's a problem that you have with the dress, that's one thing, but don't be talking about this woman, calling out her name. It was a whole back and forth. And I just sat back because at that point I was like, see, this is why the young girls don't like to listen to us, because we are up as an age group. And I'm saying we, because I'm in this age group. We are out here talking and for some people, now mind you, these are supposed to be Christ-like women fussing and cussing and going off about this woman and her dress. And like I said, I stay out of that kind of business because that's not my business. I don't stay in those circles, so it's not my business. But it's always interesting to me. Oh, well, thank you. Welcome, 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 welcome. And you all see, look at me. My level of vanity, because my glasses that I wear on the show that are just for the show, I can't find them. Hello there, Passion for Life. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm so glad you subscribed. So they're going back and forth with each other. And so there's these two dynamics. You have the younger women, and when I say younger, I'm talking about 30 and under, and then the older women, 31 and older, with their opinions about this dress. Then you have the saved versus the unsaved talking about this dress. Going back and forth, back and forth. In my head, if that was an inappropriate dress, surely the people of her congregation, particularly the women, the right thing to do, in my opinion, is to sit her aside, talk to her, let her know, hey, you represent New Birth, and this is not a look that we would like for you to represent New Birth. You're a beautiful woman. You're a shapely woman. I do understand that your husband bought the dress, but just could you consider us in these kind of things, particularly if you're going to go out and they say that you are Pastor and Mrs. Bryan of New Birth Missionary Baptist Church. I think that's where it is. I think that could have been the end of it. And the women going back and forth on TikTok, to me, they don't matter really. They're not members of that church, so it really doesn't, in my opinion, matter what they think. But what no one is talking about, or what people seem to have brushed over, is what Bishop Patrick Wooden said. This man stood up, because it's one thing to not like the dress, right? And it's another thing as a pastor to another pastor to give him a call and talk about it. But to get up in that pulpit and call this woman a $2 hoe, unacceptable, unacceptable, unacceptable. Unacceptable. Let's see, where did I save that to? Unacceptable. All right, so I'm going to share this tab, and this is by Sean Riffraff. He's over on TikTok. His sentiments is what I had the same sentiments to. So let's listen to what he had to say.
So serious. Be so serious. I tried to sit with it. I tried to pray it down. I tried to be calm and collected and Christ-like, but the rays said, nah, today we flipping tables. Be so freaking serious. Y'all really spent multiple days, not a moment, not a passing thought, days arguing whether a pastor's wife should have worn this dress. Days, threads, think pieces, holy huddles about a dress. Be so freaking serious. And then this pops up. Presented his wife like a $2 whore? Pause with that. Sit with that. A bishop, a leader, a man with a collar and a title looked at a grown woman and reduced her to a sexualized slur. Not a rebuke, not a correction, not a pastoral care, verbal violence. And some of y'all had the nerve to say, well, he was just holding standards. No, that was not holiness. That was entitled misogyny and a desperate need to use this woman for his personal attention. That was a woman being publicly humiliated so a man could feel morally superior. That was church patriarchy doing what it has always done best. Protect power by degrading women. Be so freaking serious. And let me say this so very plain. The misogyny embedded in church culture is so institutional, so structural, so normalized that you don't even clock it as sin. It's tradition. It's biblical. It's just how church works. You were raised in it, groomed in it, ordained in it. And here's the ugly truth. The church is one of the last socially acceptable places where women can still be openly policed. Their clothes, their tone, their bodies, their authority. ministry. It's still normal in 2026 for churches, denominations, and entire theological systems to say you can't preach here, you can't lead here, you can't pastor men, you can't sit in that seat, you can't touch that mic. Women can organize the ministry, women can fund the ministry, women can pray for the ministry, birth the ministry, but never lead the ministry. And the same systems screaming biblical orders somehow stay silent when women are demeaned and degraded and disrespected from the pulpit. He's so serious. Church is still the one place where women can get reduced to a single function of popping out babies and washing freaking dishes. Be fruitful, be silent, be submissive, be small, but let her be confident. Let her be grown. Let her be visible. Let her walk in the room knowing who she is. Now she's a distraction. Now she's out of order. Now she's making brothers stumble. No, she's making systems uncomfortable. And let me remind you of this. Jesus never policed a woman's outfit, but he did flip tables over injustice. Be so serious. It's 2026. Bombs have fallen on multiple countries. Children have been murdered in schools. Worshipers have been slaughtered in churches. Communities have been wiped out by violence, racism, greed, and empire. And the church said, yeah, but that dress though. Not why are women still unsafe? Not why are we still silencing half of the body of Christ? Not why does our theology keep producing harm? But was it appropriate? And that word appropriate ain't spiritual. It's strategic. It's control. It's patriarchy attempting to harness and manipulate biblical authority. It's fear pretending to be holiness. And this is why spaces like Talk at Church even exist, because we are done baptizing control and calling it God. We are practicing healthy, biblically grounded doctrine that empowers people instead of shrinking them. We teach faith through the doctrine of love, not shame, not surveillance, not spiritual abuse. And if you're tired of misogyny masquerading as righteousness, if you're done watching women get crushed so systems can stay comfortable, you can become a virtual apostle from wherever you are. Links are in my bio. And if this hit home, don't keep it quiet. Like, follow, and share it. One last thing. If the gospel needs women to shrink to survive, it's not good news. It's control. If a woman's outfit shakes your theology is fragile.
We won't go to the rest of it. He's got another 2 or 3 minutes, but I just thought, like I said, however you come on the side of whether that you thought the dress was appropriate, whether it was biblical or not, that is your right. But I have an issue and problem when you get up in the pulpit calling people $2 hoes. I just draw the line there. I draw the line there. I absolutely draw the line there. So we will continue. That was one. We just got my last story that I wanted to talk about. Let me remove. I was going to talk about Cardi B, but she aggravates me right now. So I definitely won't talk about that. Let's see. So I wanted to talk about this. The Critic Choice Awards came out the other day, and they had all the people that were nominated, and shout out to the people that won. But Sinners was on the table for that. And what we have seen in regards to Sinner for the past year is that that Hollywood has not been favorable to Sinners, the IP, and all of that. Now, you first started seeing rumbles around that when Variety did an article back, because Sinners came out in April, and I think that they did that article in April. And they were talking about this is when the big argument was going on about how much you have to make at the box office to be considered viable or to be considered your movie was a success. And so the way they framed that article, as I recall, was that Sinners made, I think it was like $61 million its first weekend at the box office. They phrased that as that, oh, well, that's not going to be good. That's not really good because they had a $90 million budget and all of these different things. So they framed it as that making $61 million at the box office was a flop. Meanwhile, you see Timothy Chalamet had a movie that came out on Christmas Day, and they had a budget of I think it was somewhere close to that thing, and then they made like $2.5 million, and they were praising that feat. Oh, they made this amount of money. It's on point to do all of these numbers. Now, when Sinners came out, the $61 million, they made the $61 million, and then they got up to $90 million, and they got to $100 million. And every time they got up, there was always a movement of the goalpost. Well, they've got to make 2.5 times worth the budget in order for that movie to be viable. They made the $90 million because they tacked on, oh, well, you got to add the $90 million that they use for marketing. Now, I just don't believe that they use $90 million for marketing, honestly. But so they have to make $180 million in order for them to be viable. They make 170. They've lost money because they only made 170 million. They come back, and before you know it, I think at the end of everything, I think Sinners, I don't even gotta guess. Sinners made about 300 and something million dollars. Let's see. We'll go to Box Office Mojo. So as of, they made 3 because they did a re-release, and I don't know if they're adding that re-release in there as well because I don't see that they've done that. But anyway, Sinners made $368 million plus or minus off of a $90 million budget. And so people, they were trying to move that goalpost, but this is the issue that I believe that they had with Sinners. I think that Hollywood had an issue when everyone found out that Ryan Coogler worked out a deal to where after a certain period of time, and I want to say it's like 25 years, he is going to get the rights back to his movie, right? It's my understanding that they went ape shit about that. Oh my gosh. How can he do that? He's ruining cinema. He's ruining this, that, and third. He just made a good deal. This is a deal that I understand that possibly has been given to a good few. But I do believe that Quentin Tarantino got that deal. And there are probably other people, but he got it. It's a problem. So let me go back to Twitter. Let me share my screen. Am I not on the screen? Just a little old bitty person up there in the sky. All right. So this person right here says, how Timothy Chalamet won Best Actor over Michael B. Jordan for a movie that was released 2 weeks ago is still a mystery. So it's not a mystery because here, the Critics' Choice Award, from what I understand, they nominate a movie or an actor or whomever during that previous calendar year, right? So they have the award show, like they just had the award show. You can be nominated from the timeline of January 1st through December 31st of the previous year. All right. Timothy Chalamet movie came out on Christmas Day. Apparently, the critics have watched that movie prior to it coming out in the theaters. So this is how Timothy Chalamet was nominated. Because there was a lot of discourse and back and forth, but just a little research, and that's what I found out. That I think that they watched that movie in October. Critics were allowed to watch this movie in October. So this is how Timothy Chalamet was nominated, even though his movie didn't come out until December 25th. Right? Yeah. Hi, Q is not a robot. How you doing today? I see you too. How you doing today? Glad you made it. They've been hating on Sinners since it came out. Yeah. And I think a lot of that has to do with that deal that he had, right? So this young man asked this question. So I posted, this is what I think. It's not a mystery at all. Timothy Chalamet is Hollywood's chosen one right now. He is the one that everybody is looking for. They are going to try to make fetch with Timothy Chalamet. It doesn't matter what he do. He could stand on screen and breathe into the microphone. They're going to choose him pretty much every time. Why? He is the one that they're trying to make fetch. They did that with Leonardo DiCaprio. They did that with Brad Pitt. And there's several others as you go back. There are Matt Damon, all of these people. They are the people who Hollywood is deeming the chosen one. And because they deemed him the chosen one, it's very clear why you think that they the research I did after I wrote this text. So I just said the Critics' Choice Awards knew that they were going to choose Timothy. Why do you think his film skated in 5 days before the 12/31/2025 deadline is considered? Hollywood, through Variety and other mainstream magazines, know Michael B. Jordan's performance was great, but make sure that they give biased spins on the film and its performance. And that has been happening all throughout. They have been giving biased reviews, bias, even though it has a 98 on Rotten Tomatoes. But if you read an article from Variety, Deadline, Rolling Stones, any of those things, Sinners is not in the conversation, even to the point that when they did 2025's best movies, Sinners was nowhere in the argument, because nowhere in the argument, because in previous years the argument is, well, we do look at the box office numbers and how they do in the box office. Well, they made the box office numbers. They didn't do that. Well, we look for original movies and, with original themes and stuff like that. Here you have a movie that is a genre bending movie. It goes to drama, it has horror, it has all those different things. This is how they're doing, right? Hollywood, who as a whole is salty about the deal that Ryan Coogler received for Sinners. So Hollywood feels that since Ryan Coogler will receive a total rights of Sinner after 25 years, then why reward the film for its excellence? Hollywood politics as usual. And because he's Black. All of those things. Because if a film, like I said, it is one thing if you didn't like the film, if you didn't like any of the things. It's one thing, because I don't want anybody to mishear me to believe, every Black film has to be nominated. No. But what I do know is that if that film that's nominated, or if a Black person is nominated or wins a lot of accolades, it's always for a character that reinforces the biases of the whole community. Because even with this Tiana Taylor getting her nomination, people went to go see that movie. That was not a movie that I was going to see, because from what people were telling me, every bias that folks think about Black women was seen to be portrayed. Nymphomaniac, sex maniac, putting her body out there to be used as a tool. She's sitting up here looking like she's 6 and 7 and 8 months pregnant, wielding a machine gun. No, absolutely not. But what I want to do is go through here and go through, because this is from the Hollywood Reporter, and to go through who won on this past Sunday. So let me share my tab here. And thank you all for coming, and thank you all for being in the live. I really do appreciate it. And if you like what you see, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. And if I tickle your fancy so much, please make sure you subscribe. I really would appreciate it. And again, I have broken this channel up in two. And if you're interested in my movie and television reviews, please follow my channel, my second channel, which is PETV_reacts. Please follow that channel. I really, really would appreciate it. I heard it was awful, and every time I heard about it, it was almost like a caricature of a Black woman, and I wasn't finna watch that. I wasn't gonna watch that. I wasn't gonna watch that at all. So let's get into it. So let's get an over. So who the winners are. So we've got Best Picture. You had Bugonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Jay Kelly, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Values, Sinners, Train Dreams, and Wicked for Good. And One Battle After the Number, the movie that I know I wasn't going to see, it won. We have Best Actor, who was Timothy Chalamet. He went up against Leonardo DiCaprio, Joel Edgerton, Ethan Hawke, Michael B. Jordan, and Wagner Moura. Now, I'm sorry, but if I had looked at that, did anybody watch Train Dreams? I thought Joel Edgerton did a good job. Yeah, I was rooting for Michael B. Jordan because, I root for people who are Black, but he did a good job as well. I didn't watch Timothy Chalamet. I didn't watch this movie, but from the people who I know that saw it, they said that he did a decent job. Best Actress went to Jessie Buckley from Hamnet, Rose Byrne, Chase Infinity, Renee Resby, Amanda Seyfried, and Emma Stone were also in the running as well. Best Supporting Actor, we had Benicio del Toro, we had Jacob Elordi. Sometimes you could look at a word and think it's simple, and then you start to overthink it. Elordi, Paul Mescal, Sean Penn, Adam Sandler, and Stellan Skarsgård with Jacob Elordi, who won for Frankenstein. Best Supporting Actress, you had Elle Fanning, Ariana Grande, Inga Lias, Amy Madigan, who won from Weapons. You had Wumi Musaka, and you had Tiana Taylor, who were also in the running for Best Supporting Actresses. Best Young Actor, you had Everett Blanc, you had Miles Caton, who won. Congratulations to him, because he really, truly did a good job. And I don't know, maybe it's me, but maybe he should have gotten a Best Supporting Actor nod, or maybe it's just me. But congratulations to him. You had Kerry Christopher from Weapons, Shannon Mahini Gorman, you had Jacoby Jupe, and Nina Yee. Best Director, you had Ryan Coogler, Guillermo del Toro, Josh Safdie, Joaquin Trier, and Chloe Zhao, and Paul Thomas Anderson for One Battle After Another one. Best Original Screenplay, you had Noah Baumbach, Emily Mortimer for Jay Kelly, Ronald Bronstein and Josh Safdie for Marty Supreme. You had Ryan Coogler for Sinners. You had Zach Krieger for Weapons, Eva Victor for Sorry Baby, and Eskel Vogt and Joaquin Trier for Sentimental Value. And Ryan Coogler did win that show. Oh, what's we got going on in here? Ugh. And the movie was about crashing out for images. Oh, my goodness. Oh, thank you so much. Congratulations, Q is not a robot for becoming a member of my channel. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And if you too want to be a member, please sign up. Yeah. Miles did. He did for that to be his first acting gig. I think he did a really good job. He was around some heavy hitters with what's his name? I hate when names escape me. Y'all know the other blues singer in Sinners. What's his name? Oh, I can't think of his name. Did you like that show? Of course, PTA one. Did you like it? I didn't like it. I'm sorry. Yeah, he did learn to play the guitar for the movie. Paul Thomas Anderson, Best Adapted Screenplay. Let's see. Let's go down. Best Casting and Ensemble. I think Sinners won that. Nina Gold for Hamnet. Douglas Abel, Nina Gold for Jay Kelly. Jennifer Vanetti for Marty Supreme. Cassandra Kundis, One Battle After Another. Francine Maisler for Sinners. Tiffany Little Canfield for Wicked for Good. Haven't you noticed that Delroy Lindo, thank you. Delroy, thank you so much. You notice that, because I understand now, but you notice that Haley Steinfeld, even when they had the re-release, she didn't show up. And not that she had to, because possibly her contract only said that she had to do the press for it the first time. So I'm not really tripping on that, but I did find it interesting because now I guess they're doing their push for Oscar nominations and stuff like that. I find it interesting that she didn't show up. So, but that's just me. Like I said, she didn't have to if her contract said that she didn't have to, but it was just interesting. Best cinematography, we have Claudio Miranda for F1. Did y'all watch F1? I didn't think I was gonna like it, but it was okay. I really didn't think, because I don't know nothing about no racing or anything like that. But it held my attention. Like I said, it wasn't the best, but it was a good movie to sit and kind of veg out with. I enjoyed it. Dan Lauston for Frankenstein, Lucas Zhao for Hamnet, Michael Baumer for One Battle After Another, Autumn Durald Arkpal for Sinners, and Adolfo Valesso for Train Dreams, and Adolfo Valesso from Train Dreams 1. Best Production Design, Tamara Deverell and Shane Vial won for Frankenstein. Stephen Mironi for F1. Now this was interesting. Kate Hawley versus Ruth Carter, but she won for Frankenstein. That was an interesting thing. Wait a minute, hold up. Yeah, that was interesting. And I think I liked, I didn't want all of that Wicked and Wicked Revenge or whatever they call it, but the costumes were good in Wicked too. So I'm surprised that they didn't win. Best Hair and Makeup, Frankenstein won that. Best Visual Effects, Avatar Fire and Ice won. Best Stunt Design, Mission Impossible. And you know what? Let me tell you something. Anything with Tom Cruise and anything with stunts, he is always going to be A1 because that man is yes. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it, but I really truly did. I think he did a decent job. I really really do. I really really do. I think he did a decent job. I like Brad Pitt in it. Like I said, I'm not a racing type of person. So all that stuff that was going on, it was a little over my head, but they kept me interested. I ain't gonna hold y'all. So go watch it, even if you're not into racing. Best Animated Feature, K-Pop Demon Hunters. It just kickles me. The Naked Gun. And I'm not gonna read any more into that because, like I said, I wanted to go over that. I think I have. Let me share this tab because I just want us to see and listen to his speech. He's the it guy.
Wow. Whew. Man, thank you guys. Wow. My fellow nominees, Leo, I'm staring straight at you, man. Joel, Ethan, we used to do table reads at Labyrinth Theater Group in New York. Ethan, Wagner, Michael, Joel. I don't think am I forgetting anyone? Help me. Who? And Michael, man, unbelievable. Just rewatched Sinners. Hadn't seen that after credit scene. I'm happy I stuck around the second time. I got a lot of people to thank. I don't know if I'll be up here again, so give me a second. Miyako Belizzi, Ronnie Bronstein, Eli Bush, Darius Ganji, Jack Fisk.
And that's all I wanted to show y'all. He got his award. Let me move out of here. And let's see. And as I was perusing the interwebs, I came across a picture. It's actually a I came across a picture. Let me see if I can make it bigger. I clipped it so I could see it. And I don't know if this means anything or not. Could something be at play? I don't know. But I came across this off, I think, from the I Am Jonathan Majors fan page, and they did a clip. There was another picture too that I think I saw with Jonathan Majors with Tyson. So I don't know if this is a preview or prefect or a little teaser or something that possibly something could come around him playing Mike Tyson. I'm not sure or not. I just saw it. I just thought I'd share it. Don't have anything to say, yay or nay. But I did want to put that picture up. I did want to be able to show it, and I did want to be able to kind of talk about it. Well, I think his girlfriend probably wanted to watch it. And that's all I'm going to say about it. Oh, I don't know. So what do you all think? Like I said, I was going to talk about Cardi B, but Cardi B got too much stuff going on. I'll just briefly go over it. She was on Twitter Spaces a few days ago, going back and forth in regards to allegations about her father possibly SA-ing somebody. And she was saying that if her father did that, they were going to deport her. But my spidey senses were going off, and I was like, that doesn't necessarily mean that whatever that offense happened, it happened here in the United States. Because remember, her father is a immigrant from the Dominican Republic. I'm not bashing or anybody being an immigrant. I'm just saying it doesn't necessarily mean that the offense happened here in the United States. She then got back on Twitter Spaces and she went to doubling down on her behavior. Because one of the things that bothers me is how certain behaviors that women will exhibit that people give them a pass for. Had it been a man, we would be almost getting ready to throw the stones at them. And she was doubling down on her behavior of when she was a stripper, because she said it out of her mouth as well, that she would drug, then rob men. People who were going to the strip club, if they believed that they had money, she would take them back to the hotel. They'd get to drinking. They would spike the drinks. The men would get drunk. They would fall asleep, and they would rob them. Don't know if anybody from those, if you are someone who went home with this woman back in the day of whatever that was, and you found that you were lost from your belongings, please go find you an attorney and work that out. And also, too, there was some incidents and some mess in regards to her current boyfriend and some SA allegations from a chef. I want to wait to see if I get any more legal information before I go over that. I'm also on the hunt for the lawsuit paperwork, what's going on with Donnie McClurkin. And when I find that paperwork, I'm definitely going to make sure that I get that, and we will go over and read it as a family, because I love to read these lawsuits as a family so that we can get a understanding. Because we just read, if you want to go back into my playlist, my legal celebrity legal playlist, we just went over the lawsuit paperwork of the young man that's suing Will Smith. I will tell you that maybe there's going to be some amended paperwork, because that's not reading that is not reading well. So we will see. Once I get, like I said, once I get my hands on that lawsuit, I definitely, we will go over and we will definitely read that thing. I'm going to check real quick to see if my connects have it. All right. Don't have the full piece of it, but once I get it, once my connect is gracious enough to show it. Yes, 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 yes. Shout out to Document Tings. Always able to go follow Document Tings if you want to be able to get all this information. He does the lawsuits from he's really into the Meg the Stallion one. So definitely go follow him. But I do have it. This Joker is 15 pages. I will do a separate live, probably do it tomorrow, and we will definitely go over these. I'm gonna peruse it tonight. We definitely go over these 15 pages because I do want to hear what's going on in this lawsuit. It will probably be around the same time as tonight because as I'm just perusing, there is some information in here that may not be suitable for early day. Yeah. Yeah, we're definitely going to review this. We're definitely going to review this because this is interesting. This is interesting. And I am going to review once get all the information about Cardi B and the Stephon Diggs information. I'm definitely going to do that. But have you all been following this mess between Adin Ross and Doechii and Glasses Malone? Have you? It seems like it has been resolved. Shout out to Doechii for not getting out here saying anything, just putting it on wax and leaving it alone. Shout out to Glasses Malone for making everybody aware of the disrespect. Give me a boo in the comments for the one of the things that I'm seeing in 2025, 2026 as Black folks, we're working on one accord. We are operating on one accord, it looks like, and no longer are we going to be tolerating the foolishness, whether it's coming within our community or outside of our community, making excuses for it or anything like that. Shout out to us. Shout out to the people that are holding. I found my glasses, y'all. It was under my keyboard. I don't know why I didn't look up under there. Shout out to the people that put the heat around those Black men that were hanging around with Adin Ross and all of that, making them uncomfortable. So he turned around and apologized. And shout out to whoever is going to get the $100,000 that he WAC 100 said that he donated to Black businesses. Yeah. If you're not familiar, probably earlier this year, pretty much around the time that the Grammys were going on, Adin Ross got onto a stream. He is a streamer. He's a young guy. As he says, I'm a young Jewish guy. He is a young guy who does streaming. He's like on those areas of Kai Cenat. Also, if you've been watching me, following me about the lawsuits that I read, he is listed along with Drake in a lawsuit filed in about 3 states now that I have seen, with stake.us, where there are 3 separate complaints in U.S. District Court, I think in New York, Missouri, and now in Virginia. He's been listed in those. So he is one of those people that loves himself some Drake. And what I gathered about this whole thing, and I'll just go over. So he did a stream where somebody had said something about Doechii, and he started calling, he called her an industry plant. I don't have an issue forwards or backwards about calling somebody an industry plant, though I don't believe that she is an industry plant, and I don't believe that people are using industry plant in the right context, right? Because you let me tell it, Ice Spice is an industry plant. She just comes out of nowhere. What, she just came out of high school? I would consider that. Tyla seems that way too. But I don't know enough about her, so I will hold reserve for that. But anyway, he called her an industry plant. That's one thing. But then he turned around and started calling this woman out of her name, called her all kinds of bees, some kind of smelly whores, all these different things. And I mean, he just kept going and kept going. But I will tell you that particular stream, nobody came to her defense. Nobody came to Doechie's defense. It wasn't until Doechie pulled out this song that she just dropped, Girl Get Up. And she talked about it. She talked about how she felt. She talked about what she thought of the people who were saying these things to her. She put it all out on wax. As soon as she put it out on wax, he comes back. Instead of him just letting it go, he comes back, calls her all kinds of dirty bees, all this stuff. Not the fact that she's an industry plant, because if you're going to critique the music business, that comes out all the time. No one had an issue. It was the fact that you called her a dirty bee, talking about her between her legs smell, all of these different types of things that they were talking about with this woman. And so that upset Glasses Malone, who is, I think he is a rapper or a writer or whatever he is, but he's in that hip hop culture. So he gets upset about it and he talks about it. So Adin Smith hears what he says, he doubles down. And again, this is my problem with folks like Adin Smith. You all allow these people to come in. You invite them to the cookout. You invite them to eat and make a lot of money off the culture. And then they turn around and they shit on your people. They talk about your people like that. And he's not the first. You know, I talked about this before about Andrew Schultz and Charlemagne the God. The same thing. The same that Adam, what is this guy? Adam such and such and such, whatever his name. They do all the same thing. Vlad and all those people. And y'all can get mad at me or not. I don't care. But a lot of times it's black men the black men around these men, white men, who allow them to say these things because of the fact that they want to move to a certain level or something like that, disrespecting people. And it's not just women, it's men too. They have a lot of greasy things to say. But I am proud that we are moving in a different direction. We're moving in a different accord, and we are seeing that you see what happens when someone gets pressed. So Adin was doubling down because, again, he thought he was safe. He knew Whack 100. He calls Whack, tells Whack, basically, he had Whack almost like his do boy. Go handle the Glasses and such people for me, because they're talking about me and stuff like that. And then Whack calls or talks to Glasses. Glasses got back on and says, I'm doubling down. No. And if I got to get folks to talk to him, we're going to get folks to talk to him. Now, all of a sudden, Whack can't do nothing for him. So I guess he goes over to DJ Academics. I don't know why you would go over there. Ain't nothing he's going to be able to do. You know, and then all of a sudden you notice that Adin's tone has changed. He checked his tone because he realizes these people are now serious about stepping to him and checking him. So shout out to them on that. Y'all, I'm just sitting here. I'm just thinking a lot of that needs to be done. Because it's one thing if you're critiquing the music, but you shouldn't be calling nobody out their name like that. Let me see what y'all are going. Let's see. I hate the way the only parade around black men is if the others don't commit crimes. What are you talking about? Could you get a little bit more specific? I don't know. Smokey Swiss says you look like you want to follow the honorable Elijah Muhammad. I don't follow Islam. So no, I wouldn't follow him. Yeah, we're done with the disrespect. Okay. Those were tethers. So are you saying that the guys that are hanging around Adin Ross that they were black immigrants is what you're saying? Because I don't know who those guys were. He throws around that J term so people don't get into yeah, because he made y'all. I thought that, and I'm like, how does nobody understand that that's a whistle? In other words, don't touch me. And if you're not familiar why he would use that and why he's so confident in using that, because I call them Jacob and them. See, Jacob and them are running around trying to tell you how to think, what you can see, what you can say. Jacob and them have gone and had congressmen go over there to Bethlehem and them, encouraging them to write federal laws that people cannot criticize that state, that country, or the people. They then turned around and one of your state representatives, they had 250 of them, go over this summer to have them encourage them to write laws within the state so that you can't criticize the country that Bethlehem sits in or the people. Then they turned around and they just sent they just looked at 2,000 people, 2,000 pastors and evangelists and everything like that, telling them to tell the people in their congregation that they can't criticize the country that Bethlehem sits in. And we already know that they've purchased TikTok because that was the place where people were getting information. They want to control what you watch and what you see, because that's already done on Facebook and Instagram and other places like that. They're buying up all of the mainstream media to be able to quash you saying or criticizing anything like that. And all in an effort to keep people's attention away from what's going on over there at Gaza. This is this is supposed to be the United States of America, and you're supposed to be able to have the free speech and the free press. But not when you've got people controlling it, and then they're actively, openly, and then they get no pushback from nobody. I think a lot of times we need to pay attention to the things that make our spirit shake instead of all the mess that they put in front of you. Because people no longer read the newspaper, because they're controlling the news, you're not getting the information as quickly as you can. But yes, he throws around that term because he understands the state of what's going on. And the same with Drake. That's why Drake walks around here and does all the stuff that he needs to do. I'm sorry, because I'm just trying to figure out. Because if I'm just trying to figure out how in the world the only thing that she could do is put a booty in your face and then turn around and just shake it. That's all. Got you. Thank you for clarifying. I see what you're saying. Adin Ross. I said Adin Ross. He is a streamer. He used to be on Twitch, but they kicked him off of Twitch, and now he streams exclusively on Kick, from what I understand. Now, why they kicked him off? Probably his mouth. Oh, yeah. And then they want to turn around and talk about, I'm not racist. I don't see color. If you tell me, if I'm standing before you and you tell me you don't see color, you're a lie and the truth ain't in you. You're a lie. You're a lie. Hey, Andre. You're good. You're good. You good. Aiden Ross is a streamer. He and I'll just recap. Dochi, who is a rapper, she's a black woman who is a rapper. He is a white Jewish man. He got online, and again, he is a man that's in the culture. And what I mean by that, he talks and openly discuss hip hop and other things. But when he's talking about hip hop and black folk, he is very derogatory. He's called this woman a bitch, a smelly whore, all of these different things. But other folks, if he's talking about white women, Asian women, or anything like that, he's not talking about them in those terms. No, I don't have a problem with you asking. They've got a lot. They have a lot. And what's so sad is the fact that they are afloat by taxpayer money. The United States of America pays them $55 billion a year. And they use that $55 billion, part of it, to lobby all of these different entities to make sure that people do not speak bad about them. They use that $55 billion. You could go over there. You got free health care. You can get the pregnancy terminations. You can get all of this stuff. Your taxpayer dollars can pay for that. You know, they have universal health care. They have all these little differences. They have leave for men and women, maternity leave for men and women, 8, 10, 12 weeks at a time. We don't have all these different things that they have over there. We're paying for it, but they won't even allow a daggone subsidy for health care. You can't even get universal health care, and everybody's like, oh, well, you don't want it. Listen, you won't go to the doctor. You go to the doctor. Because everybody that talks about universal health care in other different places, they talk about preventative measures. But we don't want that because of the fact that the way that they genetically modify our foods, the way that they are getting the farmland, we don't want a whole lot of things because what they said, people who control your food control your life. Which app? Which app? Because I think TikTok is supposed to go down on the 19th because they're supposed to do something, and then they want you to go and get the new TikTok app. I'm not getting the new TikTok because once it's gone, it's gone. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then they've got it to where they come over and try to tell you they're going to all these little different entities using the money that taxpayers give the government to run and fund the government. Because it seems like everybody eats off the United States of America except for the Americans. But a lot of times, you know, within my community, we don't pay attention to that. And that's why I said in one of my last pop culture chat lives is I'm hoping that these gender wars are over with. You can't go into 2026 about that. We need to be standing on business. We need to be doing all the things that we need to do to pay attention. We have to pay attention to what's going on. You can't be sitting up here worrying about a doggone Birkin bag and who's going to let you into the Hermes store and if Gucci is going to You don't have no time to worry about that stuff. People hurting. You don't have no time to be getting all in our feelings, because I know that we are an emotional people, and I love that about us. I love us, good, bad, or indifferent. But we can't focus on that. Not when you've got Jacob and them going to all entities of our society, trying to get laws and things passed to keep us from saying what we need, because it starts with them and it's going to continue to something else. So I just need for everybody to wake up, because when I got up and realized that they done pruned a whole white tea woman from the timeline, you already know this left and right stuff is out of hand. It is currently out of hand. Out of hand. Out of hand. We have no time to be worrying about all this materialistic stuff. We don't have no time to worry about that. We should be minding our advocacy. We should be minding our dollars. You don't have to have new clothes every season. Maybe some of us can learn how to do our own nails, because press-ons are hot. Press-ons are in, they make press-ons that look better than the nails that you go get your designs on. We need to go back to, because in my day, when you talk about getting your hair braided, you always find that neighborhood person that knew how to braid hair, and you kept that person in business. You paid that money and stuff like that. And when I was going to get my hair braided, all of my hair braiders were young girls that had children. So you can pay them a fee. You pay them the fee that they charge, which one nothing but $60, $70, $80 at one point. $100 is fine. And if I saw that they had kids, especially babies or anything, what do you need, baby? You need some diapers. You need some food. I know that they probably was on some things, but still, it's much cheaper than to go into certain shops of certain people and they charge you $600 and $700. You can get your hair braided and be through for less than $100, plus buying them some food or something like that, buying some diapers or anything like that. We got to get back to getting back to making sure that we're okay. It's perfectly fine to have a used car. Some of you all are paying $800, $900 per month for a car, for the hottest car. It's okay to have a used car. It's okay to go in with your family to buy a home. You got sisters and brothers, and y'all want to get out of your parents' house, but individually you don't make enough to do that. It's okay for you all as sisters and brothers to pool together and to buy a home. 2 or 3 of you all find a home that's 3 or 4 bedrooms and buy that home. Start a home. It doesn't matter. It's okay to do that. Build you up some equity. It's okay. For those of you all that are up north, I see a lot of you all have like duplexes and homes that have like, that you could probably make it a triplex, is that what they call it? You can live on one side, you can have a tenant on this side, and you can have tenants down in the basement. Like I said, you can go in with your brothers and sisters. If the basement is the bigger place, you can work that up. Each one of you all have a room and you can rent out the top. It's okay. It is okay. 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 Paid off car is a wonderful thing. It's okay to eat leftovers. Y'all call it meal prep. It's okay. It's okay to go buy some groceries, cook it, meal prep it, put some in the freezer, put some in the refrigerator. It's okay. Don't let people punk you out or make you feel bad because you're not going out to eat every day. Number one, it gets expensive. I mean, just think about over the past year. Things in 2024 that cost you $5 cost you $15. Even going to the grocery store is expensive. It's just everything is so much expensive. And again, and let me be very clear, you all need to be paying attention to politics. Politics rule what goes on in your life here in the United States of America. I'm not asking you to be an expert, but you doggone, even though you don't have no kids in the school, you need to know what they're doing over there, because the daughters of the Confederate are in there and they're trying to tell you what books you can read and what books you cannot read. You need to know what your local and state legislating the laws that they're passing. Being asleep at the wheel causes us to miss a lot of stuff because our focus is on things that really you can pay attention to it, but don't let those things kind of rule your life. You got to keep paying attention. And the last thing I'm going to leave you all with, because now that I'm just trying to talk and go over, check on your folk. Your family is your family. I know some people don't have good relationships with some of their family members, but the people that you do have a good relationship, check on your people. Check on your strong friends. Check on your strong friends, your cousins, stuff like that. Gentlemen, check on the people that you care about. Check on the women, them I don't need a man women. Check on them. Because that's a trauma response. Just check on them. Ladies, you're strong and silent type. Gentlemen, check on them. Gentlemen, if you go on and check on your I don't need a man woman with that trauma response, and you see that she needs a lawn mow, just mow it and come on out of there. Ladies, if you go check on your strong, silent type men, and you go over there and it looks like they ain't got no food in the house, give them something to eat. Check on your people. Take care of your people. Because again, today's incident is showing me that it's gonna get dark before we see the light. And if it gets dark, you need to make sure that you have your people. Check on your people. Now, I'm not telling you to go through the storm and go through people who have caused you issues and problems and trauma. I'm not talking about that, because family is not only blood, family can also be friends. Check on your people. Understand who you are and who you are as a resource, and let each other know. Some of you all are good planners. That's a good resource. Some of you all know how to can food, get whatever that resource you're good in. Some of y'all know how to fix cars. Some of y'all, whatever that resource is, make sure people know. Check on your people and let people know what you are as a resource to folk. Don't take advantage of people, but let people know who you are as a resource to somebody. Because, child, If they shooting white women in the street, and they are the most protected in this country. Whether you want to, say I'm talking racial or anything, I'm just saying if they're doing that in the street and nobody is batting an eye, baby. Mm. All right, people. We do this every week. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please share this video if you care. Y'all, please tell a friend, tell a kin, tell a coworker, tell that heifer that you can't stand that I'm over here making this video. Y'all, we will go over the Carletto versus McClurkin against McClurkin lawsuit on tomorrow. We will read it, all 15 pages, and see what's going on. All right, people. And as always, bye-bye.